I wonder, would my dreams reach so high? If I could challenge the towering mountain and look down into the valley below, would I be satisfied with the green pastures? When I follow a cool, winding brook, I often ask myself, just where does it end? And I wonder, how far in life could I go? I sit and I listen to the lapping of the sea, now peaceful, now angry, like my heart within. On the beach I find a shell and put it to my ear, and within I hear the roar of the whole ocean. I hear the roar of my whole own heart. Life is a river that we swim. Years it took me to return to the riverbanks of Ohio to recollect those childhood days of perfect ways when we were free as the birds, free as the wind, and along the untrodden bank, not a single campfire burned, no ashes, no debris, no tin cans, no junk marred creator's perfection. That is creation's very edge. And we, like the magical spirits ourselves, we were in it, laughing and romping and splashing. We whooped to hear our echo pierce the silence of the elevating rolling hills. Our voices called back to ourselves, speaking secret things that only we could understand. I'll tell you the great secret of great secrets. And it's this: Creator and creation are one. You don't need to think it. Just feel it in your heart. What the heart knows, the mind will find reasons for. When we want wisdom, we go up on the hill and we talk to God. 4 days, 4 nights, no nobody else. Nobody's there to listen to you. It's a great feeling. A great feeling to be talking to God. I know. I did it way up on the mountain. The wind was blowing. It was dark. It was cold. And I stood there. And I talked to God. Did you ever wonder how wisdom comes? Without taking her hands from her weaving, or even looking up at us to see if we were listening. Lionel Fisher, Indian elder in Oregon, told my colleague Steve Mall, co-author of the book Dream Keepers, this true story. There was a man, a postman here on the reservation, who heard some of the elders talking about receiving objects that bring great power. He didn't know how much about such things, but he thought to himself that it would be a wonderful thing if he could receive such an object, which can only be bestowed by the Creator. In particular, he heard the elders say that the highest such object that that person can receive is an eagle feather. And he decided that was the one for him. If he could just receive an eagle feather, he'd have all the power and wisdom and prestige he desired. But he knew he couldn't buy one, and he couldn't ask anyone to give him one. It would have to come straight from the Creator, somehow. Day after day, he went around looking for an eagle feather. He figured one would come his way if he just kept his eyes open, and he thought so. He thought of nothing else. That eagle feather occupied his thoughts from sun up to sundown. Weeks passed, and months, and years. And every day, this postman did his rounds, always looking for that eagle to drop its eagle feather. Looking just as hard as he could. He just kept his mind fixed on that eagle feather, but it never seemed to come. He started to grow old, but still no feather. Finally, he came to realize that no matter how hard he looked, he was no closer to getting the feather than he'd been the day he started. One day, he took a break by the side of the road. He got out of his cheap mail carrier, and he had a talk with the Creator. He said, I'm so tired of looking for that eagle feather. Maybe I'm not supposed to get one. I spent all my life thinking about that feather, and I've hardly given a thought to my family, my friends. All I cared about was that feather. And now life is just about passed me by. I I've missed out on so many good things. Well, God, I'm giving up the search. I'm going to stop looking for that feather and start living. Maybe I have time enough left to make it up to my family and friends. Forgive me, please, for the way I've conducted my life. Then and only then a great peace came into him. He suddenly felt better inside than he had in all these years. Just as he finished his talk with the Creator and started getting back into his Jeep, he was surprised by a shadow passing over his head. Holding his hands over his eyes, he looked up into the sky and saw high above a great bird flying over. And almost instantly, it disappeared. But then, he saw something floating down ever so lightly on the breeze. A beautiful eagle tail feather. It was his eagle feather. He realized that the feather had come not a single moment before. He had stopped searching and made his peace with the Creator. He finally learned that wisdom only comes when you stop looking for it and start truly living the life the Creator intended for you. And these are the words of Lila Fisher, O Elder, spoken to Steve Wall.